Hey there, YouTubers. You might have questions about refugee science. I'm recruiting for this prototyping experiment where we do like IKEA does for interiors, but we're doing exteriors. They're already set up, and there's actually people living in some of them, almost like a diorama. It's like when tourists come through, or experts or consultants, it's not like they can come through just any time and like barge in on the dinner hour, but we are showcasing technologies you might want to take back to your refugee camp. People are coming here just for that purpose, to see what the options are. You want to try before you buy, that kind of thing. And so, do you know stuff about engineering, and do you know stuff about computer science, and do you know stuff about GST? These are the questions. And I'm not saying I control the position. I'm not the gatekeeper for everybody who's interested in this, obviously. But I do, once you're in the sort of loop here, want to have certain tools accepted so that we all are on the same page technologically to some degree. I'm just going to go up to kernel here and say restart kernel and run all cells. And if you know what I'm doing, if you understand what I'm doing here, you recognize this technology, then I think you're already a little bit ahead of the game as far as the state of the art in refugee science right now, which is very data oriented. There's a lot of websites out there that track the size of refugee camps, where the people are coming from. Some of that data is really good, but then it stops, right? It's like it's up to year X, and then what? And where's the real time? So yes, I know world game is very primitive right now. You'd think with Google Earth and all that we'd have better tools by now. It's not that we don't really have the tools, it's that they're being abused by certain hijackers of our technology who can only think unimaginatively about what to do with it. And they don't want to share it because they want to have an edge. It's like we own everything, we have all the weapons, and that makes us feel really powerful. So I know it's pretty sad and Planet of the Apes like, but still, pandas, NumPy, Jupyter Labs, all that School of Tomorrow stuff that you've been studying, it does take you somewhere. It takes you into the realm of the X and Y axes and chopping up X into smaller intervals of time, maybe down to the nanosecond. When you're doing stats data analysis, chances are you're not doing femtoseconds, you're not doing flash lithography of chips. That would be a different discipline. So no worries if nanosecond is too slow for you. There's other ways to go. But I'm thinking in terms of more like a fever. Like here's somebody running a temperature, and I just randomly created this to hover around 98.6 plus or minus. It's fake data. But I'm showing how the time axis, which I've chopped up into 24 hours per day, in a single line of pandas, right? You use the frequency equals h for hours, how many periods you want, and where you're starting in terms of a date. I just started with a plain day, but you might be wondering about time zone, and can I shift this? Can I resample it at a different frequency? Yes to all of the above. Pandas is very good with time management. So if you're only using Office and you only know Excel and you've never learned this stuff, then you have a ways to go, but that's okay. You have the concepts probably. We all know what a time axis is. We don't think of time as usually the proximate cause because whether something happens or not, time is always advancing. So with time, the steady constant, the drumbeat, the metronome, we don't think of it as the cause in an Aristotelian sense of anything. It's like time causes things to age is roughly true, but it's also a tautology. It's like everything's older today than it was yesterday, fine. But is that getting older a cause of like wrinkling and withering? or is that more something to do with um, cell duplication? And actually, there's a program with the humans and the mammals for them to get old, because we need regeneration. We need, new beliefs, new thoughts. Um, Read some science fiction where they discover how people could live forever and see what the author does with that theme. It's an interesting concept, and it may convince you that it's good the way things are now. Anyway, just wanted you to consider the technologies at the School of Tomorrow to be somewhat relevant to your future career if you're going into refugee science, which a lot of us are, including myself. We'll see you soon. Talk to you later.